Now, when you get into a situation like that, you realize that it's actually got nothing to do with what you look like. It's actually got everything to do with what you're talking about. Now, like, look, the whole reason that we're in hoodies still, and I think it's a big thing, like this comfortable gear.
Yeah.
And it's because we're trying to say, guys, it's not about what
you look like. Yeah.
It's not about what we've got on. It's actually about what we have to offer.
How's it, guys? Thank you for coming back to us. We were about to jump into the Dragon's Den stuff, but we realized, like, we'd rather first start with giving a bit of a background on some of the mistakes that we made, what was happening around the time that we were doing our business and all of that. So, before we just jump into Dragon's Den and start to give you some insight about some of the entrepreneurs that we resonate with in there, we're going to give you a bit of a background of how we started and what was happening when we were starting out. Some of the mistakes, the big mistakes that we made.
So we want to step back a little bit, right? And basically what we're hoping to do is to walk through the early years, right? One of the biggest mistakes and one of the things that we would like to deal with in this video is about acting, it's about lying, right?
Yeah.
So what we want to teach you and hopefully give to you is that, guys, if you're still acting, you haven't even started yet. I think that's the essence of it. If you're still acting, you haven't even started yet. So we're hoping to speak about what it means to be acting and what you shouldn't be doing when you're starting a business.
Yeah, so I mean, look, in our early years, we had a lot of businesses before we started Okubabayo, right? Mm-hmm. We did quite a lot of things. And I think we opened a lot of businesses, almost every industry you could think of that we thought made money. Mining, construction, energy, you name it.
As long as it looked like it was making money, we were doing it.
Yeah, because the whole thing was we started our business saying, well, we have to look like people who have made money, people who have made it. It's one of those things where, you tell your family, you're about to start a business, you tell your friends, right? And then the pressure starts because now everybody wants to know, like, this business of yours, like, what is it doing, on a day-to-day. And so we started to act like we had done it in business. We started to dress like we had done it in business. We started to, behave as if we already knew everything we had to know about business and all these many different industries that we had started, right? Now that put us in a predicament because that act of ours, right, at some point actually helped us because we got a big meeting.
When we locked down this meeting, it was a big executive meeting. We managed to crack a meeting with this big company, and we thought, shucks, we've got the meeting now. So what are we going to do in the meeting? And when we got there, guys, it was so embarrassing because it was the first time that these guys, we met with the senior executives, and within the first 5 minutes of meeting with the guys, we were completely undone, right?
Yeah.
So, and what do I mean by undone? Like, they asked us basic questions. How is your business working? What's your
model?
Day to day? What is your business model? All these questions, they seem basic, right? Like how can you start a business without knowing that? But the thing is, we were so focused on acting, that we didn't spend any time on that stuff because we knew that to do that means to actually work.
Yeah.
You can act and act and act and act and pretend and pretend and until you meet the guy who's not acting, right?
Yep.
And when that happens, it's such a humbling thing because he's not there to act, he's there to do business. Now, when you get into a situation like that, you realize that it's actually got nothing to do with what you look like. It's actually got everything to do with what you're talking about. Now, like, look, the whole reason that we're in hoodies still, and I think it's a big thing, like this comfortable gear.
Yeah.
And it's because we're trying to say, guys, it's not about what
you look like. Yeah.
It's not about what we've got on. It's actually about what we have to offer. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. What are you offering the market? Are you offering them a product? Are you offering them a service? And is it something that the market wants? Are you offering value that people are ready to pay for? And I think that's the essence of it.
Yeah.
Stop acting and start doing the thing that actually people want to pay for.
There's a lot of pressure. These days everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, and the whole thing about being an entrepreneur is, apparently there's a lot of money in being an entrepreneur. And that's why everybody wants to do it. We're in an age that puts young people under a lot of pressure to look like you've made it, to look like you've done it, and that was one of the driving forces for us was, wow, if we're going to start a business, we better look like we've done it in business.
Exactly.
And you know, with all the Insta age, it's like our lives are supposed to look good. Like you're supposed to portray yourself as having money, having made it, having done it. And the truth is, when you're starting a business, none of that is true.
None of it is glamorous.
Yeah.
Like guys, when you start, right, you don't have staff, right? You
Yeah.
don't have people working for you. You don't. You might not even have an office. You might not even have a car. You might not even have the laptop, right?
When you're starting, it is not glamorous. Like we paint the picture as if, hey man, when you started, you're already supposed to have the office, the car, the suit, the everything, and have it all figured out. But the truth is, you know, you don't have it all figured out, and like that's okay. Rather not act like we did. I mean, we spent a lot of time.
Yeah, we actually spent years.
Yeah,
we spent years doing it.
Yeah,
we said in the beginning that the meeting that we had that embarrassed us the most was actually the beginning of the best thing for us. Because then, from that point on, I think we must have made a secret vow to ourselves, to the Lord, to say, you know, we want to stop acting and want to actually do this thing. So the question I'm going to ask you guys is this. Do you want to look like you're doing business, or you actually want to do business?
We're not about, you know, the business that's going to make us 10 rand. We wanted the big business, right? Because we thought that that's what we needed.
But who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to deal with the big fish, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
But the problem with the big fish, right, is that the big fish is a big fish for a reason.
And the big fish ask big questions.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think if you knew, right, and you are trying to be something that you're not, that's the very first thing that they're gonna pick up, right? So we were trying to deal with the big fish, and like there's nothing wrong with having the vision and dreaming dreaming to do that, because again, we'll share this in another video. But our dream of our big dream is actually part of the reason why, you know, we at where we're at right now. So no, don't get us wrong when we say don't try to go after the big fish. The point is, don't act.
We got a meeting because we looked right, we sounded right, you know. If you looked at us, you thought. But let me tell you, when we were in that reception for that meeting, that was the scariest moment, because when we saw the guys, there's one thing we knew. We're done for. We don't have the answers that these guys want, right? And you know, within 5 minutes, it was true. You know, they asked us a few probing questions, and suddenly our whole business that looked so nice, good website, good cars, everything, all of it was undone, you know, in 5 minutes. Most embarrassing moment for us, but also most humbling. You know, the Lord really helped us by throwing us into that, because that's the thing that changed our perspective. You know, my dad always says this thing, right? And
it's the most important thing we've heard. It's the most important thing that we've heard, and we've been in business now almost for how long?
All in all, or in Okubabayo?
Okay, in Okubabayo 5 years.
5 years.
But in this business hustle for
what, 10, maybe 11 years?
Almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And we're still saying the same thing, which is?
There's a first painful question he asked us. Most painful question, you know, have you made a rand?
Have you made 1 rand?
This guy, he didn't even give us a chance. He didn't even at least say, have you made 1,000? He was like, have you made 1 rand?
Yeah.
And after what, 5-6 years, we hadn't made a rand. That's why it was so painful, you know.
Now that's crazy, right?
Yeah,
to think that we'd been in business for 5 years but hadn't answered the most simple question. Have you actually made 1 rand? Now, when somebody asks you that, like when he asked you that, it was like, okay, what are you saying? Like, are you saying we're not in business? And the truth was,
we're not in business,
right? And that's what we're trying to hope to ask you. Have you made 1 rand, right?
Yeah.
And really the question is, have you given something of value that people are ready to pay 1 rand for your product or for your service?
And then he asked us, you know, he told us something very important after that, and we go by this now, you know. Whatever you're doing, it's going to show itself.
It's going to show itself.
It's not going to hide. So whatever's done in the dark will come to light. And the thing is, when you're an entrepreneur, you're doing a lot of things when nobody's watching.
In fact, that's exactly right, right? A lot of the work that you're doing is in the dark. A lot of the work that you're doing is in secret, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff, that's why you spend sort of the dark years of business away from everybody. There is that period where you have to get away, guys. You need to like put your head down and focus on one thing. Like we were doing so many different businesses before, so many different stuff before, that we were not able to focus on anything. And like if you don't focus on anything, you're not gonna get anything done.
So guys, I mean, the other thing is, you know, it's this really, business is not this day and age, unfortunately. You know, we're supposed to glamorize this thing of trying to be an entrepreneur, but the truth is there is no glamour in starting a business, because it's hard, and it's, you know, it's going to take from you things that you're not willing to give. It's going to take from you time you're not going to get back, and in that time sometimes, you know, it will fail.
Most businesses fail. and your likelihood of failing in the first year is higher than any other year, right? So we're not saying that to discourage you, we're just letting you know that that's the truth. And when you start feeling that pain, right, of getting things done, and you know, is it really supposed to be this hard? The answer is yes, right? Is it really supposed to be that painful? Yes. You know?
Am I supposed to be this tired? Yes. You are. Am I supposed to be this broke? Yes. It's supposed to be that broke.
And the other thing which I think is important to say and to add is, like, guys, this isn't for everybody. The second that you're gonna stop pretending and start actually trying to do something, you're gonna feel something that feels strange, and it's called the work.
Yeah. So I mean, guys, at the end of the day, you know, this video is to tell you not to pay our school fees. Right? We've already paid it, and we're letting you know, don't pay the same school fees. Like, it's not a good university to go to, the university of pretending. Don't pretend. Don't be like us. We paid a very painful school fees, and we would have done, you know, much better things with that time. But I think the Lord had His own journey, and we needed it, and we're grateful for it. But we're saying, maybe don't spend 6 years like we did. Maybe spend 1 year. All right.
Yeah.
So guys, we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for watching. If there's any like feedback that you want to give us, maybe there's some questions that you want to ask, please, like, you know, put it down there, put it in the comments. We want to hear what you guys have to say. You know, if you feel like what we're saying is maybe not as accurate for you in your situation, that's also fine. Let us know. This is the whole thing about this, is we want to communicate with you, we want to be real with you. So if there's any questions that you do want to ask us about our business, we would love to answer them, obviously within reason. But the whole thing to be here is so that we can give you the truth. So until next time, Baba Gamnan.